If you know you need to be creating content to build authority, to build your audience, to stay top of mind with your leads and prospects, but you don't know what to say or what types of content you should be sharing, then tune into this video because we're going to break down the 4 different types of content and how and where you should be using them inside of your lead nurture marketing. Welcome back, guys. Greg here with Alt Agency at altagency.com. And in this video, we're continuing our 2-part series. In the last video, which you can get right here or in the link, the description below, we talked about lead nurture strategy. Where are the locations other than just email that you should be nurturing your leads into prospects and your prospects into clients? And now in this video, I want to break down the content that you should be sharing. Time and time again, we talk to a lot of different digital and creative agency owners, expert freelancers that they know they need to build an audience. They know that they need to create more content, but they don't really know what to talk about and have a framework and or a structure for what to be sharing. And so that's why I want to cover the 4 core pieces of content that you really can be leveraging inside of your lead nurture marketing. And these 4 types of content can be utilized in the 6 different locations that I talked about from the last video. So this video is not talking about where in depth. I'll give you a quick recap. We're going to dive into the types of content. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. All right, as a quick recap, before I jump into these 4 core frameworks or types of content, the places this content is going to go, I dive into in more depth in this other video, but a quick refresher. We are going to manage and build the group, the place to be, which for us is a Facebook group, could be a Slack community. We're going to have email automation that continually follows up with people that are on our list. We are going to retarget people in our ecosystem that have been on our site. We are going to do personalized outbound touches. These could be phone calls or direct messages. We are going to add content to our social media profiles or YouTube channel, things like that. And then the 6th one is audio, which you might have a podcast and or say tap into something like Clubhouse as a channel in which you're going to engage with prospects. Now, what type of content are we going to be sharing on these channels? There's really only 4. Let's keep it simple. At the end of this video, I want you to comment with the next video that you're going to share or the next piece of content that you're going to share and which format you're going to use. All right, so the first type of content that we're talking about is called value add content. This is content like a how-to, maybe a tutorial, possibly a live training. This could even be a kind of Q&A or an AMA, like an Ask Me Anything. I like doing these sorts of trainings. They allow you to demonstrate your expertise. You can definitely lead with tons of value and be of service, even if it doesn't get someone to reach out to you in that moment. It can actually start to help someone solve a problem. And the best way to get leads to trust you is to start solving their problems. So you can use some how-to content. You can do a live training, walking them through a step-by-step piece like I've done many times on this channel. Or you could just say, hey, I'm opening up an hour on my calendar to answer any questions you have around XYZ topic. Join me here. It could be a Zoom, it could be a live stream in your group, wherever. But consistently putting value add content into the marketplace, into these different channels is really going to help you, 1, up-level your authority, 2, build trust with the people that are in your ecosystem, 3, accelerate and likely shorten the sales gap. And 4, also help you become more of a master at your own craft of talking about what it is you know. And I think there's a lot to be said for just showing up day in and day out, trying to become better at communicating what it is you do and sharing value and what you're learning back into the marketplace. Content type number 2 is what I'll call client-centric content. These are testimonials. These are interviewing your successful clients. These are stories that come straight out of your client experiences. You've probably seen some of that on this channel, but if you've ever seen any of our ads, we'll share a screenshot of me interviewing a client and we'll link to a full-fledged interview. We'll share quotes from clients that came from those interviews or that they shared inside of our private client communities. We'll take screenshots of clients text messaging me or messaging us in our client Facebook group, sharing their own wins or aha moments. And that becomes content. And what that really does is, outside of the value add content, it starts to show other prospects the types of results that your current clients are getting. And in many ways, you will have prospects out in the marketplace, out in these different communities that you've created and then you're nurturing, that will see themselves inside the story of one of your previous success stories, inside of one of the stories of your previous clients. So I highly recommend that you share client-centric content as often as possible, because it's a great authority builder, but it also really helps people start to believe that they can do it themselves, because they'll be more likely to see themselves in your clients than they will kind of see themselves in your shoes. All right, the third type of content is what I'm going to call behind the scenes content. One of my favorite books that changed the game on this for me is called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. And really this is, I see a lot of people do this on their Instagram stories, but you could do this in your own Facebook group. You could do this in a lot of different ways. But one of the most powerful things you can do is just show people the behind the scenes. Oftentimes I will show people behind the scenes as I'm creating a workbook for one of our upcoming client intensives. One thing that I actually did that worked really well that you can go see on this channel, I'll link it up in the description below, is we had a coaching call with our clients, and I took pretty much the whole coaching call and I made it a YouTube video because I thought it was a message that everybody needed to hear. The thumbnail says tough love, and it's basically me sharing kind of a little bit of a kick in the butt message to our clients to get them to stay focused and keep moving forward and focus on the next step. And we had a handful of clients that watched that video, or prospects that watched that video, that then scheduled a call with my team and became clients because they got a glimpse into what it would be like to be a client. And they said, I need someone to talk to me like that and help me power through some of these insecurities or this overwhelm or this lack of clarity. And so by me extracting an actual client coaching call and sharing that publicly, they got to experience what it might be like. They got a little taste. So maybe when you're working on a client project or you're coaching a client, there are things that you can show. If you're helping someone, maybe you can live stream a coaching call. There's a lot of different ways you can give people a sneak peek behind what it is you're doing in your business that is exciting. It's like why we all love, maybe it's just me, shows like $1 Million Listing. We see inside these houses, or reality television shows where like Cribs. Remember we'd like go watch Cribs on MTV and you'd see inside of famous people's houses? Like you kind of want to see what it is like inside their shoes, and sharing behind the scenes content will do just that. And the great thing about behind the scenes content is that it gives people a glimpse into the real you. Because at the end of the day, when they're investing in you and or your company, they're still working with people. And people buy from people. So by showing them the people that are a part of the experience when they choose to enroll is going to give them more trust and confidence in making that decision, because they'll get to see who they're actually getting to work with. And it'll attract the right clients and it'll propel the wrong ones. All right, the last type of content, number 4, is what I'm going to call shift content. You heard that correctly, shift, not the curse word, but this can take form, a lot of different forms, actually. This is content, I will say, that challenges beliefs that your prospects might have, help them have a different perspective or make a mindset shift that will have them see your solution as an opportunity. You've probably seen it time and time again. There's content that makes you just think differently and see things in a new way, that either makes it so clear that now the next step is obvious, or that it's allowed them to just gain the clarity that they need to make the investment or feel confident in a decision that they're going to make. And this should actually be a good, like percentage-wise, if I had to break up the pie, this would probably be like 30 to 40%, I think, of content as nurture, is really consider your prospect and the objections that they might have in making the investment with you, and or just investing in the solution to the problem that you can solve, and helping them look at things differently, giving them that different perspective. Some people will call this transformational content. Oftentimes it's not the how-to content that gets people to convert. It's the content that makes them think differently and have that mental shift, break that belief that they have been holding on to, in some cases maybe for years, that position them to now be in a ready buying position. Now, a quick tip from Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. He talks about that there's really, at the end of the day, there's only 3 types of objections. There's objections that are tied to the vehicle. So you have a way of solving your client's problem, a methodology, a framework, that would be your vehicle. There will be a lack of belief in this vehicle that you have is going to help your prospect. So that could be a mindset shift that needs to be handled. For example, for us, we talk a lot about productization and transitioning from done for you to done with you. I might need to deal with some mental breakdowns that people have of what it's going to be like when they do done with you versus done for you, or selling done with you versus done for you. So that might be around convincing them and sharing content that's going to help them overcome that obstacle around the vehicle. Another common type of objection is internal beliefs. So an example here would be you're speaking to the prospect, and the prospect doesn't believe that they can achieve the results that you're talking about for their own internal reasons. And so you might have to create content that helps people break those internal beliefs. Then you have external beliefs. So you have the vehicle, internal and external. And the external is like an outside circumstance that's out of their control that is going to prevent them from achieving said result. So you might say, a prospect might say, hey, well, my clients won't do this, or in my market, this isn't possible. And you might have to create content that shows that that belief that they have is not true. So that is shift content. So a real quick recap of the 4 types of content that you should be incorporating into your lead nurture marketing is 1, value add content. 2 is client-centric content. 3 is behind the scenes content. And 4 is shift content. I want to know which type of content you're going to share next as a part of your nurture marketing. Comment below. And again, if you're new here and you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell, because we release a video every single Thursday. See you guys soon.